さやか、俺はずっとお前と一緒にいたい。
Ryu is the frontman of the Street Fighter universe, dedicated warrior, and master martial artist, one of the most iconic characters in the series. But how is it that a character like Ryu doesn't have a solid backstory? Why, as we, Street Fighter fans, know little about the birth of Ryu, or who his parents could be? It's been speculated that Akuma is Ryu's father, but is he really? In this episode, we will share the tale between Ryu's potential parents, hints, and mysterious signs that can lead us to the reconnection of Ryu's origins. Without further ado, let me welcome you to the Street Fighter-verse. In order to start answering the question, is Akuma Ryu's father? We first have to dig into his early story. In his early years, Akuma and his brother Goken were students of a master martial artist named Gotetsu. Gotetsu had trained them under his dojo, teaching him his martial arts skills. These martial arts skills composed elements of judo, genpo, and karate in his training. While under his wing, Gotetsu took care of his niece named Sayaka, which shared the same living quarters as Akuma and Goken. Sayaka had a timid stance and was a sympathetic human being. She helped with the endeavors of her uncle and his students Goki and Goken. She encouraged the brothers to pursue diverse interests and hobbies, like photography and English, as a side of their training. She has even taught them calligraphy in their free time from training. It is noted that Sayaka had particular feelings towards Goki. In the movie Street Fighter Assassin's Fist, we see a glimpse of the relationship between Goki and Sayaka. Great, right? This scene shows another side of Goki, a more loving and compassionate side. Now, a while after the calligraphy class, Goki leaves abruptly, writing Metsu in his paper. Metsu in translation means destruction, signifying to both Sayaka and Goken the secrets of the Satsui no Hado, delved into Goki's core, greatly progressing and consuming his being. During a training fight between Goken and Goki that Goki lost his temper and tried to kill Goken. Goken reversed his attacks and was about to kill him with a Hadoken if it hadn't been for Sayaka, who stood in the way, making Goken cease charging the projectile. Shortly afterwards, while Goki is being scolded by Gotetsu, Sayaka tries to intervene, but Goken prevents her. As a result, she goes to Goki's room to wait for him. After Goken is called in, Goki is told by Gotetsu to pack his belongings and leave the dojo. Sayaka attempts to convince him to stay, saying that she will talk to her uncle about changing his mind, but Goki refuses. He recognizes that Sayaka is attracted to him, but tells her that he must pursue his training in the ways of the Satsui no Hado above all else. He kisses her goodbye. Saddened, she stays in the room after he leaves it, and is soon found by Goken, who she is angry at for not defending his brother. When Goki begins leaving the dojo grounds, Sayaka runs to catch up with him, to give him a basket of food for his journey, and a piece of paper with the kanji symbol heaven written upon it, symbolizing his quest for immortal glory. This is the infamous kanji symbol that glows in the back of Akuma after his raging demon attack is unleashed. A year passes and Sayaka longs for Goki's return, but Gotetsu notices this and tells her to stop her infatuation, as it is hindering Goken's training. After Gotetsu dies at Akuma's hands, Sayaka finds little reason to stay at the dojo and departs in the night, leaving Goken and Senzo. She isn't seen again. As time passes by, a small child is left in front of Goken's dojo. Goken adopted it and trained the young kid, Ryu. In the Street Fighter generations, and as stated by fandom, Sayaka is first seen tending to Goki's wounds after he loses a fight to Goken. Later on, Sayaka hears Goki and Gotetsu arguing about the use of the Satsui no Hado. After Goki leaves the room, Sayaka fails to persuade Goki to consider Gotetsu's warnings, then begins to worry about him when he appears to be in pain. Due to abusing the Satsui no Hado, Goki becomes Akuma and fights Gotetsu. Sayaka, being aware of this, turns to Goken for help. Sayaka is unable to keep up with Goken, as she is nauseous and then vomits due to it. This is all but stated to be morning sickness, giving a subtle hint that indeed Sayaka was pregnant, in which most likely she was bearing Akuma's child. Could Ryu be Sayaka's son? Well, if we follow the chain of events and tie the life of Sayaka and Goki before his encounter with the Satsui no Hado, this might tell us that yes, Ryu could be their son. They share many common traces. Sayaka's temperament is very much like Ryu'S timid and sympathetic nature. Calligraphy is most present in Ryu'S stage signs, and also in part of his clothing. Out of all of the places in the world that a kid could have gone to, he ends up in Gouken's dojo. Due to the Street Fighter Alpha generations and Street Fighter Assassin's Fist movies, it is believed by some that Akuma is Ryu'S father. However, these movies, as well as other Street Fighter movies, are non-canon to the series, which takes away the validity of the process. Despite the fact that some say that it is not canon, we like the idea, since it makes sense that Akuma would be Ryu'S father. The Satsui no Hado was not something Ryu actually had to train for. Not that he wanted to, but we believe Ryu was born with the power that lay dormant since he was an infant. His mother, Sayaka, she was in a relationship with Gouki in both the animated adaptation and live-action version of the Street Fighter. After many conflicts, Gouki challenged and killed his master, Gozetsu, leaving Sayaka and Gouken to grieve as he sank into darkness. Over time, Sayaka departs Gouken, while pregnant with evidentially her child, Ryu. We are amazed that Capcom hasn't covered it more. Having no idea who he is, a pure demon trying to get through the power of his son, and the warrior seeking to overcome that power and defeat his father, who killed his master/uncle, who might have been trying to prevent Ryu from learning the truth about his past. It is said that officially, Akuma is Ryu's adoptive uncle. It may be an official saying, but there are so many variants as to why Ryu is Akuma's legitimate son. But then again, if it's in the books that way, I guess we have to go with the creator's decision as to where the real origin of Ryu lies. So what did you think about Akuma and Ryu's story? Let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on new theories and info. Thank you for watching. This has been your Street Fighter host. Welcome to the center stage. Our new Discord server. There you can talk with us, chat about current events going on in Street Fighter, information, theories, and lore. We'll leave the link in the description box below. We want to thank everyone for tuning in and becoming part of this Street Fighter community. We want to thank you for your positive comments towards our channel because it only habilitates us to grow even more. From the Street Fighterverse crew, we thank you.